Wrestling fans, hold on to your seats because the WWE Universe is about to explode with the most shocking revelation of 2025. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, just made a secret phone call that's set to obliterate Seth Rollins' empire from the inside out. But here's what nobody saw coming. While everyone thought Roman was done, broken, sidelined after that brutal betrayal by Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker at WrestleMania 41, our sources have uncovered jaw-dropping evidence of a master plan so intricate it makes Game of Thrones look like child's play. This isn't just a comeback story. This is 4D chess, and Roman has been playing it in the shadows for months. The phone call I'm about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew about loyalty, betrayal, and the future of WWE. Who was on his speed dial? Why is Paul Heyman sneaking into WWE headquarters like a spy? And what does this mean for the wrestling landscape? Stick around because the bombshell I'm dropping will rewrite WWE history. Let's rewind to that fateful night at WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, April 2025, a night that was supposed to crown Roman Reigns as the undisputed king of WWE forever. Picture this, 80,000 screaming fans packed into Allegiant Stadium, the lights dimmed, and Roman Reigns walking down that ramp with the confidence of a man who had dominated WWE for over 3 years. This wasn't just another match, this was supposed to be his coronation. For 1,316 days, Roman carried the undisputed WWE Universal Championship like a crown. He didn't just hold titles, he transformed WWE into his personal kingdom. The Bloodline wasn't just a faction, it was a dynasty that redefined what power looked like in sports entertainment. Every Friday night on SmackDown, Roman reminded us why he was the head of the table, the Tribal Chief, the one who acknowledged no one because everyone acknowledged him. But here's where the story takes a dark turn that nobody saw coming. The night after WrestleMania 41, Monday Night Raw became a crime scene. Seth Rollins, the so-called visionary, orchestrated an ambush so brutal it left the WWE Universe in stunned silence. Picture Roman, exhausted from his WrestleMania performance, walking into what he thought was a routine Raw appearance. Instead, he walked into a trap. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker didn't just attack Roman, they systematically dismantled him. Chairs flew through the air like missiles, tables exploded into splinters, and the sound of steel meeting flesh echoed through the arena. But the most devastating blow wasn't physical, it was psychological. Seth stood over Roman's bloodied body and declared himself the new face of WWE, the architect of a new era. The official WWE statement claimed Roman was taking time off for family obligations. But does that sound like the Tribal Chief to you? A man who built his entire identity around never backing down, never showing weakness, never letting anyone take what's his. The same Roman who once said, "I don't make excuses, I make history." Here's what WWE didn't want you to know. Roman's disappearance wasn't a retreat. It was the opening move in the most elaborate chess game WWE has ever seen. While Seth paraded around Raw, acting like he owned the place, Roman was already 3 moves ahead. The betrayal at WrestleMania wasn't Roman's downfall, it was the catalyst for something bigger, something more dangerous than the original Bloodline ever was. And that secret phone call I mentioned? It happened just 72 hours after the attack, when Roman was supposed to be recovering. But Roman Reigns doesn't recover, he reloads. What you're about to discover will prove that sometimes the most devastating attacks come not from your enemies, but from the shadows where true power is born. Here's where the story gets absolutely insane, and I need you to pay close attention because what I'm about to reveal will blow your mind. Just 3 days after that brutal betrayal, while Seth Rollins was celebrating on social media and the wrestling world was writing Roman's obituary, our sources intercepted intelligence about a phone call that changed everything. This wasn't Roman calling his doctor or his family. This was a strategic strike disguised as a conversation. Picture Roman, sitting in his home office at 2 a.m., his body still aching from the attack, but his mind sharper than ever. He picked up his phone and dialed a number that would set in motion the most elaborate revenge plot in WWE history. But here's the kicker. It wasn't just one call. Our sources confirm Roman made 4 separate calls that night, each lasting exactly 47 minutes. Why 47 minutes? Because that's how long it takes to explain a master plan that involves psychological warfare, strategic positioning, and the kind of long-term thinking that separates legends from pretenders. The first call went to someone inside WWE headquarters, someone with access to creative meetings, someone who could feed Roman real-time intelligence about Seth's plans. The second call? That was to a wrestler currently on the NXT roster, someone with the Anoa'i bloodline running through their veins. The third call connected Roman to a former ally who everyone thought had burned bridges with the tribal chief forever. And the fourth call, this is where it gets absolutely wild, went to someone currently feuding with Seth Rollins on Raw. But wait, there's more evidence that proves this wasn't just wishful thinking. Leaked security footage from the WWE Performance Center shows Roman arriving at 3 a.m. on 3 separate occasions in May 2025. He wasn't alone. 3 figures accompanied him, their faces obscured by hoodies, but their builds unmistakable to anyone who knows WWE's roster. The training sessions lasted 4 hours each time. What were they practicing? Not just wrestling moves, they were rehearsing coordinated attacks, studying Seth's match footage, and developing counter strategies for every member of Seth's crew. This wasn't preparation for a comeback, this was preparation for war. And here's the detail that confirms everything. Paul Heyman, the wise man who supposedly betrayed Roman months ago, has been spotted entering WWE headquarters through service entrances on the same nights Roman was training. Coincidence? Not a chance. Heyman's strategic genius combined with Roman's natural leadership creates a combination more dangerous than anything WWE has ever seen. The phone calls weren't just about recruiting allies, they were about orchestrating a psychological campaign designed to make Seth Rollins paranoid, overconfident, and ultimately vulnerable. While Seth thinks he's building an empire, Roman has been building something far more dangerous, a revolution that will tear down everything Seth has constructed and rebuild it in Roman's image. What you're about to discover about who answered those calls will change how you see every WWE storyline moving forward. Now comes the moment you've been waiting for, the revelation that will send shockwaves through the WWE universe. Those 4 phone calls Roman made? They weren't random. Each call was strategically designed to recruit a specific type of warrior, creating a faction so perfectly balanced it makes the original Bloodline look like a warm-up act. Let's start with Lance Anoa'i, Roman's cousin, and the high-flying phenom who's been tearing up NXT like a hurricane. This isn't just nepotism, this is strategic genius. Lance combines the raw power of the Anoa'i bloodline with an aerial arsenal that defies physics. Picture this, while Roman grounds opponents with his devastating spear, Lance launches himself from the top rope like a guided missile. But here's the smoking gun, Lance was mysteriously pulled from major NXT storylines in May 2025, right after Roman's phone calls. WWE claimed it was for character development, but insiders know the truth. Roman personally requested Lance's promotion to the main roster. Lance isn't just joining the faction, he's bringing a hunger that only comes from years of proving yourself in developmental. His combination of family loyalty and personal ambition creates a warrior who will do anything to prove he belongs at the head of the table. When Lance hits his signature shooting star press while Roman delivers a spear simultaneously, it won't just be a wrestling move, it'll be poetry in motion. Next up is Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, whose recent absence from SmackDown suddenly makes perfect sense. Jacob hasn't been resting, he's been gathering intelligence on Solo Sikoa's version of the Bloodline, feeding Roman insider information that could destroy Solo's credibility. Jacob's raw power combined with his street credibility makes him the enforcer Roman needs to handle the physical threats in Seth's crew. But Jacob brings more than muscle, he brings legitimacy. When the WWE Universe sees Jacob standing beside Roman, they'll know this isn't just another faction. It's a family reunion with violent intentions. Jacob's presence sends a message to Solo. Blood is thicker than championship gold, and the real head of the table is calling his family home. Then there's Jimmy USO, and this is where the story gets emotional. Jimmy's recent losses on SmackDown weren't accidents, they were part of Roman's psychological warfare. Roman needed Jimmy to look vulnerable, to appear separated from the family, setting up a reunion that will hit the WWE Universe like an emotional freight train. When Jimmy turns on his current allies to rejoin Roman, the crowd reaction will be deafening because everyone loves a family reunion story. But the wild card that will break the internet is Sami Zayn. Yes, the same Sami who's been feuding with Seth Rollins on Raw. Here's the twist. It's all been an elaborate smokescreen. Sami has been playing the long game, pretending to be Seth's rival while secretly communicating with Roman through intermediaries. When Sami reveals he's been with Roman all along, it won't just be a swerve, it'll be the ultimate redemption arc that rewrites everything we know about loyalty in WWE. Here's where Roman's genius truly shines, and why this plan is more sophisticated than anything WWE has ever seen. This isn't just about revenge, it's about completely restructuring the power dynamics of WWE while positioning Roman for his next chapter in Hollywood. Remember, Roman has that Akuma role in the upcoming Street Fighter movie filming in late 2025, which means every move he's making serves dual purposes. The master plan operates on 3 levels simultaneously. Level 1 is psychological warfare designed to make Seth Rollins paranoid and overconfident. While Seth struts around Raw thinking he's untouchable, Roman has been feeding him false information through carefully placed sources. Every decision Seth makes, every alliance he forms, every strategy he develops, Roman has been 3 steps ahead, manipulating the chessboard from the shadows. Level 2 is strategic positioning. Roman isn't just building a faction, he's creating a sustainable power structure that can operate with or without him. Lance Anoa'i represents the future of the family dynasty. Jacob Fatu brings the muscle and street credibility. Jimmy Uso provides the emotional connection and tag team expertise. Sami Zayn offers the strategic mind and crowd appeal. Together, they form a unit that can dominate WWE even if Roman transitions to Hollywood. But level 3 is where the plan gets absolutely diabolical. Roman has been using Paul Heyman's connections to manipulate WWE's creative direction from behind the scenes. Those secret meetings at WWE headquarters? They weren't just strategy sessions, they were Roman literally rewriting his own comeback story. While Seth thinks he's the architect of his own success, Roman has been the invisible hand guiding every major storyline. The timeline is perfect. SummerSlam 2025 becomes the stage for Roman's grand revelation. Picture this, Seth Rollins is in the middle of his biggest match, feeling invincible, when suddenly the lights go out. Roman's music hits, but he doesn't come alone. Lance Anoa'i appears first, diving off the top rope. Jacob Fatu emerges from the crowd, clearing a path of destruction. Jimmy Uso's music hits, and the emotional reunion begins. Then, in the ultimate swerve, Sami Zayn reveals he's been with Roman all along. But here's the masterstroke. Roman doesn't just win at SummerSlam, he creates a moment so iconic it becomes his farewell gift to WWE before transitioning to Hollywood. The new Bloodline doesn't just defeat Seth's crew, they systematically dismantle everything Seth built, proving that true power comes not from opportunistic betrayals but from strategic patience and family loyalty. The plan also accounts for Solo Sikoa's faction on SmackDown. Jacob Fatu's insider knowledge creates the possibility of a bloodline civil war, with Roman and Solo clashing for control of the family legacy. This sets up months of compelling television while Roman balances his WWE commitments with his Hollywood aspirations. When the dust settles, Roman will have accomplished the impossible. He'll have reclaimed his throne, established a dynasty that can survive without him, and positioned himself as the ultimate chess master who turned betrayal into triumph through pure strategic brilliance.